All right, we are here again with another AMPED Unplugged interview, and one of my favorite chiropractors, definitely on the West Coast, possibly in the whole world. That might be a stretch, but definitely in the West Coast for sure. He's up there. Hey, listen, we have Dr. Jake Kragt on today. He's in Wenatchee, Washington, which if you're not sure where that is, and I have no idea where it is either until Jake told me, it's about 2 hours from Seattle. It's kind of in the center of Washington State. So definitely not a beautiful area, very beautiful area, not necessarily a special area in the sense of high income or magnificent homes. It's kind of apple country, really. And I think the average income of households out there is about $50,000. So when you hear Jake talk, sometimes, I know when I listen to people, you start to think about, well, they're in this area, they did that, so I mean, very great, probably middle class, potentially even maybe some of the areas probably lower middle class. Jake, you can probably say yay or nay on that, but
Yeah.
but I will say I'm excited to have him here today. We're gonna do an interview about what's going on in his life, and he just hit 1 year in practice a few weeks ago. Exciting stuff. I really grinded it out. Has a great practice, and I'm super excited for him that he's part of the AMP community. And I mean, Jake, just tell us. I guess start off with maybe some of the most, because first year in practice is it can be a beast, especially doing the things you're doing. Whether you're doing a lot of things or not, it still can be a beast. So just maybe share real quickly, maybe your most challenging moment when you're opening, and just kind of maybe an insight how you opened up and how you went from nothing to something.
Yeah, there was lots of challenges getting the office open. Um, the biggest one was just being unsure, right, on what needed to be done, when, and all that sort of stuff. Obviously that's where AMP came in and filled in those holes for me. And the biggest challenge was probably not listening to everything that you guys told me to do, like doing part of the build out myself. And so the biggest challenge I remember, I was just talking, actually today, literally today is our 1 year anniversary, exactly, which is kind of cool. And I was like 2 weeks before we were open, I was tiling the floor. My hands were bleeding. I was like crying. It was just a total mess. So there's just so many things that come up that you don't know. And so as much as you can know before all that stuff that you don't know is going to happen shows up, that'll put you in the best position for sure.
Yeah, I remember the story you told me of when you had that you're doing your networking meetings. You did a ton of networking meetings before you opened,
Yeah.
and whether someone's listening saying they're opening or they already are open, network meetings done correctly are very effective. But I remember you telling me the story about your wrapped bloody hand.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
then you went to that event, and the mayor or somebody really important was there.
A senator, yeah. I was walking through this place and my hand was wrapped, and the president of the Chamber of Commerce wanted to introduce me to the state senator who lives in Wenatchee. And she's like, "Oh, Dr. Jake, this is so and so," and I very gingerly reached out my head wrap. It was embarrassing. It was bad. And the guy goes, "Hey, I like a guy that knows how to work." So it
There you go.
turned out to be good.
Yeah, proof. All right, so as if you look back at your first year in practice, what's maybe one or two of the biggest business lessons you've had? Because I mean, let's face it. I mean, a lot of times in school we learn. I know you're awesome at the Gonstack technique. You're very proficient. You graduated, I think, valedictorian of Palmer College, your class, correct?
Yeah.
So you got your technique down, you got your education down. Don't even start to brag about your board scores here on this video call, because I don't want to hear about it.
I don't remember, so it's fine.
Okay, good. But think about it. But it's a business too, and a lot of times the schools is great as Palmer and Life and all these schools we graduate from. What's some of the maybe top two business lessons you learned that you would, if someone's listening today, if they're opening or first year or two, what would you say? Hey man, have open ears on this one.
Probably the biggest mistake that I made, and I had disagreement with my wife about this at the time, which she was right, of course, was doing business with people just because they came to the office, not necessarily because it's the best business decision. Got burned multiple times, feeling sorry for people, right? Because sometimes it's hard. You're helping people all day long. You're always helping people. Then to realize this is a business, this is the office, this isn't a charity either. And so not necessarily hiring people for whatever, whether it's bookkeeping or whatever, unless they're really the best person for the job. That was a big lesson that I had to learn, and I'm still learning a little bit. That was probably the biggest one.
Yeah, so basically, just because our product's member doesn't necessarily mean do business with them, is what you're saying. Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. So, if you could think back about, I know it's been 1 year. That's awesome. That's 1 year today. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I knew it was real close. So 1 year today, looking back maybe over the last few months, or even the last couple weeks, what's some of the biggest breakthroughs you've had recently?
Yeah, we had a big one. We actually reached our goal that we wanted to hit before our first year, which was seeing 500 people in a week. And we've actually done that a couple times in the last few weeks.
Wow. Wow.
So yeah, we were super excited about that. That was the big thing.
That's amazing. So, and I know you got awesome. I knew Mallory, huge support system with the family, but also with practice. And I know you have, how many team members do y'all have now?
Well, we just hired somebody yesterday, so that makes 4 now, plus Mallory. Oh, she's telling me 5.
5. Which that's because she's worth 2. She's kind of stuff as 2, which is true in a lot of cases.
I can't remember who works for us. Yeah, we have about 5.
That's classic. So yeah, I mean, another thing we always talk about is there's that, for a lot of docs, it's that about 150 mark where they it's all about new practice members. But when you start cresting that 150, 200 mark, it shifts a little bit from getting the new ones in to serve them and help them, and it shifts the team. And I know you found that out pretty quickly. Actually, I think you guys had hired a team member even from the beginning, yeah?
Yeah, week before we opened, we hired somebody. Yeah.
When did you hire? About what time did you hire the second team member?
Just a couple months in, less than that. Yeah, we got. Looking back, I would have started thinking about hiring somebody like right away, another person.
Yeah.
Because we grew so fast that we started hiring out of desperation instead of picking the best person, and so we've had a little bit of staff turnover. Yeah, I would, and even when I talk to my other people in AMPED or friends from school, I'd tell them, you need to start looking for somebody to hire like yesterday, because once you find somebody that's good, that's what will help your practice grow.
Yeah, yeah. So true, but and again, a side note there, or asterisk, you're talking about, and I know you're talking, a lot of your friends and yourself are uber prepared for practice and have put in due diligence work in. So that's what the AMP Mastermind is all about, and Jumpstart program is creating prepared vessels, prepared students, prepared docs. Whether they're opening up right out of the gate, or they're in a year or 2 or 3 and they want to redo, it's preparation and linking it up with timing and having huge opportunities. So a couple things I want to talk. What about what other things, if you could talk to the students right now? I'm going to have you talk to the students and talk to the docs. Because if you talk to a student right now, maybe a year from graduation or wherever in school, maybe 2 years from graduation, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to prioritize what they're going to do. I just had a student out here a couple weeks ago from Palmer, and he is more prepared than I was at his point, for sure. But he is extremely rare. I mean, most students I talk to, they're so bogged down with school and boards and all that sort of stuff that they don't even think about what's going to happen post-graduation. And if you can knock all that stuff out, get all the questions answered before you graduate, then you just set yourself up to, have a super successful practice right from the beginning.
Yeah, that's good. What about the doc who's maybe 2 years in, 5 years in, 10 years in, or even longer? Just happened to fall across this video and watching right now, and I mean, and let's face it, thinking that 500 in years is probably, they may not even believe you, honestly, Jake. And I mean, I believe you. I know I've spent a lot of time with you, so I know it's the real deal. What would you say to someone that maybe is just kind of looking at things and they have a good practice, but they know they can do more?
Yeah, I think it just depends on their goals, right? Depends what you want to do. If you want to see more people, you definitely can. It takes a lot of work. It's not easy, But change is always hard. Change is even hard for us in the office now, right? We're always looking to improve things. And so I can't imagine, what it would be like to change an entire practice over. But yeah, it's definitely possible. There's definitely people in AMP that have done it, many. And yeah, you can always get better. I would just encourage people not to get in a rut, to always be changing, always looking to improve. That's the key, really.
Yeah. What are you most excited about right now?
Man, just with the office. Well, I'm having another baby in like 2 months, which would be cool. So I have 2 kids now. Our family's growing, our office is growing. Everything's just going amazing. Our church is growing. We're super pumped up about that. I mean, we're in a season of growth right now. It's just exciting overall in all phases.
Yeah. Final words here. What's your final thoughts, bud? For just in general, chiropractic. Just man, what are you thinking? Share some wisdom. What's some nuggets right now you got?
Let's see. Well, Wenatchee is one of the most beautiful places in the world. That's like the Breckenridge is the poor man's Wenatchee. That was one thought that that I had the other day. I don't know. Chiropractic's just amazing. I have 2 sister-in-laws. One's already at Palmer, another one's going to be starting this July. And just the impact that you can have. People ask me, whether I don't even know them, students in my office, like, oh, what do you want to do when you grow up? That's what people always want to ask. They're like, what do you think I should do? I was like, I don't know anything except chiropractic. I love chiropractic. It's been my whole life, my family, everything. So it's just an amazing profession. There's nothing like it where you can help people, and you can do whatever you want. It's just an amazing opportunity, and I wish people would really grasp it. That's really what I think.
Yeah, I think one of the big keys for your success is that you're teaching the principle of chiropractic. You're having straight from audio, and just so everybody knows watching that. What do you do in your practice? What services do you provide?
Services, chiropractic adjustments. That's it. X-rays and exams.
Good. So nothing else. You don't bill for anything else, huh? Just we always say there's 3 things chiropractors get paid for, right?
Yeah.
Right. Assessments, exams. What do you want to call them? X-rays and adjustments. And I know that's like you guys are like us. That's all we do, and that's a true chiropractic practice. And I mean, some people aren't are kind of doing other things, but that's okay. But we always recommend people come back to the center of where chiropractic's at, and that's really where the profitable practices are at right now. And I love that you're I'm not going to ask you to share your collections or anything, but I know you guys are.
I don't even know. I don't know.
So you don't know. I don't be Mallory, but I know that you guys are doing very, very, very well, and I'm excited for you. So here's the best part: you get to be in a profession you love. You get to love on people and serve people all day long. Your family gets blessed, and you guys get financially blessed. And you get to give back. So man, it doesn't get any better than that. So appreciate you being on today, Jake. I will see you soon, and we'll see you at the next AMP conference in about 6 months. Okay.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jake. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Last thing, how can people reach you if they want to get hold of you?
They can Facebook me. They can search me on Facebook. Jake Kragt, DC. It's Kragt.
All right.
In case nobody can pronounce it.
And we're at ampnow.com. Thanks everybody for being on today. Have an awesome, awesome day. Make it a great one.